The Economic Survey 2024-25 report is out, and the survey has been authored by the Chief Economic Advisor V. Anantha Nageswaran and his team of officials. From China risk factor to health of banks, here are 5 things to understand in the Economic Survey. The Economic Survey has identified India's dependence on China for many products as risk and recommended India to go all out to attract, promote and facilitate further domestic and foreign investments.
One of the outcomes of the globalization era was also the rise of China as a manufacturing power. India also rose as a power in global services. So what has happened in the last 25-30 years, and it is continuing even now, is in several high-tech, medium-tech areas, the presence of China is pervasive and dominant, and the manufacturing as a share of world gross output, China's share will probably be higher than the combined share of the next 10 countries. It gives them a lot of strategic levers and advantage in several areas, as we will see later in some other dimensions as well. This is an important development along with globalization in the last 40 years.
The Economic Survey further said that India faces single source concentration risk in multiple areas, especially from neighboring China, which exposes India to potential supply chain disruptions, price fluctuations and currency risks. It is imperative for India to attract investments in order to achieve its goal of becoming a competitive and innovative economy. Secondly, the survey said that the real GVA growth for financial year 2025 is estimated to be 6.4%. Growth in the first half of the current fiscal year was supported by agriculture and services, with rural demand improving on the back of record kharif production and favorable agricultural conditions.
Moving on to part B of domestic drivers of growth, this is to continue to do the work we have been doing in the last 10 years on augmenting internal capacities for growth. And in July 2024, in agriculture, we devoted a lot of time in both Chapter 5 on the medium-term outlook on how agriculture can be freed in terms of empowering farmers to be able to produce the maximum value and raise productivity. And we deliberately call it the sector of the future because there is enough scope to raise the contribution of agriculture by 0.75% to 1% in terms of GDP growth by empowering farmers, as we wrote in last July survey. And there are examples which we have cited in this survey as well from different states, and also both in terms of land pooling and also in terms of irrigation potential, which we have done quite well in the last 8 years. The area under micro irrigation has gone up by 3 times, and that can actually be an important factor. So bringing more area under irrigation, land pooling, and giving farmers the freedom to sell wherever, whenever, to whomsoever, at whatever prices, while undertaking different intervention mechanisms to take care of the demand side. That is the right combination that can unlock up to 1% of incremental growth from the agriculture sector. And given our size and given the impact climate change will have on some other nations in Africa and Asia, this will also give India a huge diplomatic and strategic leverage if we are able to become the breadbasket for many countries around the world. So this sector is not something that countries do well in their early stage of development, but given the change in globalization and given climate change, this sector can be a sector for the future as well. And as you see here on the left side, allied sectors in agriculture have been able to grow at much faster rate than the mainstream crops and food grains. So therein lies the clue as to what are all the elements from those areas which can be applied to traditional crop areas that will lift the overall growth rate of the agriculture sector.
And after the survey was stable, the 30-share benchmark Sensex was trading about 1% higher in intraday trade at 77,500, 1.55. Gross non-performing assets in the banking system have declined to a 12-year low of 2.6% of gross loans and advances, the service said, citing the Reserve Bank of India's Financial Stability Report, December 2024. Number 4, another key indicator of the robustness of economy, construction has been a standout, gaining momentum since mid-financial year 2021 and soaring approximately 15% above its pre-pandemic trend, an impressive feat. And lastly, in a prescription to India Inc., amid reports of employee injuries due to inadequate safety nets, the survey says that ensuring a safe and satisfactory workplace is in the enlightened self-interest of companies and key to long-term employee morale and productivity. And it said, quote-unquote, ethical conduct and fairness in business are the signs and bedrock of a mature and developed society, treating workers humanly and providing for their safety and looking after them when injured make as much business sense as it is the fair and ethical thing to do. That's all for today, but don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel, The Indian Express, to get the continuous coverage on Budget 2025. Thank you so much for watching.